Welcome to Mic Check with Nikita. Jerome, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, Nikita. I really appreciate it.
I did this for like every 5 episodes. Well, all the 5 episodes that actually we've shot, because the first 5 people that we're shooting with are the people that I spoke to right before I launched, right? So I wanted to make sure that I had a bunch of episodes under my belt before we actually launched.
Definitely.
And you are one of the 5 people. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for being on here. I'm so grateful you're doing this with me. I just feel, and I've said this to everyone, I feel really blessed that I pitched the idea to all of you guys and you instantly said yes.
Definitely. Thank you so much for having me and the opportunity. I really appreciate you reaching out to me, and it's full support.
Of course.
The moment you mentioned this to me, I was like, yeah, full 100, let's go. And from the few episodes you did, I looked at one and it was really amazing. So I want to say, keep doing what you're doing, and the sky's the limit.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay, so Jerome,
Nikita.
let's get into this.
Yeah,
okay,
man.
I met you 2 years ago, 3 years ago now.
3 years ago.
3 years ago.
3 years ago.
And I met you as the new drummer for Dil-E-Nadan.
Correct.
And for those of you who don't know, Dil-E-Nadan is the band that plays with Raymond Ramrine.
Yes, Raymond Ramrine and Dil-E-Nadan. Big up Dil-E-Nadan one time, must say.
So what I want to talk to you about is just a little bit about your journey, how you started as a musician, how you got into Dil-E-Nadan, because you are young. Are you the youngest?
Yes, I am. I am the youngest.
You're the baby.
Nah, don't say that again. Don't make me feel like So but I'm the youngest.
You are the youngest, but you also play, and not saying that every band member is not, but you play one of the most important parts as part of the band, right? You're the drummer.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to just talk to you about how you got into music, how you got into being with Dil-E-Nadan, and then we can take it from there.
Nice, man. Hey, looking forward to this conversation,
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So tell me, how did you become a musician? Because you are young. You're 26.
26, yes. I'm 26. I mean, people feel like I'm older than 26. I mean, yeah, you could say so.
Could be a good and bad thing.
Yeah, it could be a good or bad thing, but more good thing.
So how did you become a musician? Tell me that story.
All right, well, that's a journey. So my dad, Clifford Charles, he is a musician professionally. He's a guitarist, and he played for lots of the soca bands back in the days, like Traffic, Horizon, etc. Those are bands in Trinidad. They would tour for the carnival season, and they would tour the states, etc. So he was a lead guitarist for those bands. He was a member of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service Band as well. So he was a seasoned guitarist, and he's a really exceptional musician in my book. My first mentor, actually. He got me into this music journey. So when I was age 4, right, as I was standing in the car, my dad, he did a live performance with his band called the Clifford Charles Quartet. That was his band, right? And he performed in a TV show in Trinidad called Gaia, the channel, right? And, well, he did a live show that it was live streamed, etc. on TV. And he ended up getting a hard copy of the performance. And at home, he would play the performance on the TV for us. Well, my mom and I was only 4, a little baby. And when I saw that for the first time, right, well, I mean, I'm always exposed to music. I'm always exposed to my dad playing guitar, etc. But that was the first time I actually saw his full band perform in a setting like that. And for some reason, when I was like looking at the performance, the drummer particularly just caught my attention, and his name was David Richards. Right? Shout out to you, Mr. David Richards. Just the drumming by itself, like, it spoke to me now, like the rhythm, and I know I had to, like, I was feeling like a type of energy. Like, I know I wanted to play, like, even though I couldn't play.
Yeah.
Something inside me, like, energy just came inside me. I was like, yeah, boy, you had to go and try to play or do what he was doing. And sorry. So I would take my mom pots and pans in the kitchen, right? And I would lay it out on the couch with the little wooden sticks they had with where you used to cook with. And I used to take that and put on the live performance and try to mimic every song, what he was doing, David Richards, the drummer, what he was doing. And I would do that for days. After school, I would set out the pans and pots on the weekend and just keep playing and trying to do everything with the foot and the hands and the coordination, etc. And my mom and dad realized, well, he really liked this drumming thing, boy. You know, we should start him off with drum lessons. And when I was about 5 years old, I started taking drum lessons by the guy called Mr. Leonardo Morales, the late great. He passed away a few years ago, rest in peace. But I would say he really guided me in my drumming career, teaching-wise. David Richards, my dad's drummer at the time, he was really a big inspiration to me in starting off the drums, because if it wasn't for seeing him on that live show, I don't think I would get the motivation, right? So I would say my dad and my mom was very supportive. Even though she's not a musician, she was always supporting me and investing in me in the lessons, etc. And she realized I had the passion for it too. So I would say my mom, my dad, Mr. David Richards, and Mr. Leonardo Morales, they were the founding people who really inspired me to start drumming and to really get myself out there, learning, experiencing new things on the drums, listening to Mr. David Richards. While my dad, you know, he was rehearsing and saying home, I would listen and sit in the rehearsals, you know. So I was exposed to music at a very young age. And long story short, all these motivators and influences, it took my inspiration to another level. And I never stopped since.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's such a sweet story. It really is. So now let's fast forward over to when you joined Dil-E-Nadan. How did that opportunity come about?
Okay, so, well, during COVID, lockdown, etc., I always used to be practicing my instrument, right? So drums was, as I said, even since I started at a young age, I would always be practicing. After school, after school, I would just come home and eat something, shower, go on the drums one time, practice for hours. So I always had that routine. It was always a routine for me to go on my drums after school and practice and get better, you know. So long story short, same thing I was doing for COVID. But you know, we locked down, can't go nowhere. So I used to post drum covers, right, on my Instagram, because I know we locked down. I mean, people want some kind of entertainment online. Online was the main thing.
Yeah.
So I would post my drum covers and it would gain a lot of traction. That's when I really started taking content serious in posting myself, getting myself out there. And while I was posting, one night, right, I got a message from Dil-E-Nadan, the manager, Richard, right? I didn't realize it was Dil-E-Nadan because it was in the DMs, you have the other people who, it's like you have the main people who message you, and then you have the others who request the message.
Yeah.
Right? Because you
weren't following each other.
Yes. So I didn't open the message until like a few days after. And then when I opened the message, I got the message and they were saying that Richard was telling me how he really likes my drum playing. He wanted to work with me. He wanted to do a studio session. Mm-hmm. Right? So in my head, I was like, okay, it's a studio session he wanted to do. To message him and reach out to him. I didn't know it was like, it was no full-time opportunity. It was like a studio session. So I thinking, well, he reached out to me to do a studio session, right? So I messaged him and I said, thank you for so much for admiring my content. And it was a blessing, like to see that your content that you have been posting and working so hard for in COVID, people started to like it. And,
Yeah.
So Rich reached out to me and I sent him a message and, well, we spoke on the phone. And yeah, then long story short, while we were talking, me thinking it's a studio session, he said he's actually looking for a full-time drummer at the time. And I was very shocked, right? And know, well, it hard work paying off. And then I spoke to my parents at the time about the opportunity. And that time, actually, I had now finished law school, my third year, undergrad. And I was going to further into the LEC, which is the Legal Education Certificate, for 2 years. Mm-hmm. So I had to make a decision. What to do? Could I balance being in a band full-time and school?
Yeah.
I spoke to my parents about it. And they said, well, could you balance the two? I said, yeah, well, one way to find out. And I mean, I had the determination to do both because I was working so hard in my music career to get an opportunity like that to play for the biggest Chinese soca band in the world. Yeah. I mean, who would reject that opportunity, right? And so I told them that, my dad and mom, I told them, well, I want to do it. And they supported me full 100 with school and that. And long story short, that's how the opportunity came about.
Wow. So you basically had a studio session that was a secret audition.
It was no. Before, I got the call, but I actually had to do like audition. So they sent me music to learn.
Oh, okay.
And I had to go in the band room. And then, it's audition. So I did audition. The musical director, Akshay, reached out to me. And Richard as well. And we spoke. And they sent me, I think it was 2J Suraj. Yeah, because those were the popular songs what they released in COVID time. Tum Sato and Business with Vicari. So those are the 3 songs. Oh, and also Good Vibes with Nahela Blackman and Raymond. So those were the songs that were trending at that time, which are some of the biggest songs right now in the market right now, So, so I had to learn those songs, go to the audition, and, well, they heard me play. And, well, they got back to me eventually. And I was, insane.
So you did a studio session first, and then you had to do the audition.
No. Well, the studio session, the audition.
Was the audition. So they made you learn the music before you went in for the studio session?
Yes, before the audition. Well, so that's how the audition will work. You learn the music, then they screen you out. Yeah. Based on your playing, and
And when you went in for your studio session, was it just Richard or was it Richard and Akshay?
It was Richard and Akshay.
Wow.
Because Akshay was the MD.
Yeah.
And, Rich was the manager. Well, is the manager. But Ray wasn't there as yet. But they were the ones who assessed me and ensure that, it was a good fit for the team. And really grateful that, the opportunity came about. And I always give thanks to Richard, Raymond, Akshay, everybody, for allowing me this opportunity at such a young age. So it's just to show that hard work always pays off.
Yeah, I mean, you always have to remember where you came from, right? Because we as people wouldn't be, where we are and who we are today without those people.
Of course. And I always give thanks to them.
Yeah. And I think, so being that I've been working with Dil-E-Nadan for myself for 4 years almost now. And, my parents, since I was a little kid.
I know that, yeah.
I've seen firsthand the camaraderie that you guys have as a band. Yes. It's a full boys club. You guys are so amazing together. You guys have a great relationship with each other.
Yeah.
I also want to just point out, especially since I know you all, you guys aren't just people who are just musicians, right? You also have, like you said, you're balancing so many different things.
Yeah.
You all are people who have real life careers
Yeah.
while doing this on
Yes.
I guess, full time as well, right? So like you said, you're going to law school. You're going to be a lawyer.
Yeah, I actually finished.
You finished?
I'm a qualified attorney in Trinidad.
Wow.
I was called to the bar in 2023. Yeah, so it makes it 2 years.
Okay,
so I've been
wow.
called to the bar.
So I thought you were still in school.
No,
Wow.
no.
Okay, so you're officially a lawyer.
Yeah.
I know that I believe Stein's a teacher.
Yes, Stein's a teacher.
Marcel does.
Yes,
he's a director.
manager. Yeah, he's a manager. Sanjeev, the guitarist, well, Buck, we call him.
Yeah.
He's a psychologist. So yeah. we have a lot of active guys in the team.
Yeah,
doing
so
other things.
I think I love the fact that you guys are all very educated men as well.
Yeah.
And then you also do this on the side.
Yes.
And so one of the things that I wanted to ask you is, being, I guess, the newest person on the team, right, on the band, who became your biggest mentor going in?
So honestly speaking, me being the youngest in the band, I have high respect for each and every one of them in the team. And the reason being is that those guys paved the way for Dil-E-Nadan. They are huge inspirations to me in their own way. Raymond is an amazing artist, amazing person, very humble, rich, same way everybody in the team is. When I now joined, I felt like instantly part of a family.
Yeah.
Right? The way they treat you, the way they look out for me as their younger brother is the same way I have that respect for them as my older brothers.
Yeah.
Right? It's a family at the end of the day. And I feel so blessed to be part of the team because we really are like family, as I say, like brothers. We know when it's time to work, but we always keep that level of respect for each other.
Yeah.
And that brotherhood. No?
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes the band strong in itself. Yes, the musicians, we have really top tier musicians in the team, but aside from that is that brotherhood and that respect we hold for each other that keeps us together and brings out the best in us on the stage.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say I have a favorite in the band, but I am good with each and every one of them. I'll call names, Raymond, Rich, Chucky, Akshay, Buck, Puka, Stein, Marcel, Marlon, everybody, full team, right? All of us are like brothers, man, and it's always a blessing to be around them. When we're on tour, we like family.
Yeah.
We eat together, we go on little adventures, sound check, but I would say, I learn from everybody as being the youngest.
Yeah.
I hold everybody to that high level of respect.
Yeah, it's great because I think when you're with people for a long period of time, there needs to be some level of comfort and there needs to be a level of camaraderie because it's very hard to go through life, or at least not just life in general, but even having a career where you're spending so much time with so many people or so many different people and not being able to get along. But the fact that you guys do is a big thing.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Because you don't always get that quote unquote perfect situation.
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
I'm sure conflict arises at some point, right?
Yeah.
There might be when you're spending too much time with people, sometimes you can get a little annoyed, a little frustrated with little things. But as long as it's not breaking you guys, I think that's the best part.
No, that is part of the process, Nick, because at the end of the day, being in a band, I mean, you're with each other all the time. Multiple days of rehearsals, events, traveling, staying in the hotels, Airbnbs. You're amongst each other every day. And of course, we'll have the times where, things getting hard. Like, we under a lot of stress, pressure with preparing for shows and rehearsals. But we all know that at the end of the day, we all here for each other.
Yeah.
And if one man having a bad day, we will say, hey, everything good. We talk to them, lift up their spirits a little bit now. Because not every day gonna be a good day.
Exactly.
Not every show gonna be a day where, everybody in high energy. So if I'm on low energy, we try to build them up. Yeah. And one thing I admire with this team is that before every show, we pray. right? Raymond make sure
I've seen that.
that we all come together and pray and give thanks and ensure that the show runs smooth and we always have really good energy on stage and off the stage.
You know, that's actually a good, a nice thing that you mentioned about the praying before. And not to be, I mean, for those who are religious or not, but I think it's not the idea of just praying to a God, but it's the idea of just, like you said, giving thanks to what you have, the ability to perform, the ability to have this gift, right?
Correct. Yes.
I think that's just the foundation of it.
Yeah, that's the foundation at the end of the day.
It's also given you so much.
Yes. We always give thanks for that the blessings and for God giving us this talent that we have to spread to the world, to share good music, positive energy. You know, music is a energy. It's healing. When we're on stage, we see the reactions of people. People start to cry when Raymond started to sing. You know, you're seeing how powerful it is, and like we always give thanks, man.
We talked about Dil-E-Nadan.
Yeah.
You didn't want to give me a mentor name, but whatever.
Nah, I mean, if I'm being honest, as I said, I have high respect for each and every one of members in the band, but I would say Richard and Akshay really pushed me in the start.
Yeah.
With their experience and expertise in live performances.
Yeah.
Remember, I used to play for live events when I was younger with my dad's band, etc. But this was my first opportunity playing for a seasoned, well-known band.
Yeah.
And touring and performing regularly. So there were things that I didn't know as much, and with respect to live performances. And Richard and Akshay really pushed me, and they really assisted me in becoming a better drummer for the live performances. So I really want to give thanks to them for that push, even up to this day, right? I owe it to them. All the musicians in the band too, like I learned from, as I said, I learned from each and every one of them. Raymond especially, wow, like, honestly speaking, like, I knew Raymond before I joined the band. I know how good he was.
Yeah.
But really seeing Raymond, like, sing live and, like, actually, like, being around his energy is so amazing, man. Like, he's an exceptional artist, exceptional singer. Like, his voice is very, very powerful. Like, sometimes on stage you're playing and it's like, it's like, wow. Like, because I have him in my ears, my in-ear monitors.
Yeah.
And when he sings it, like, it brings out that emotions in you now, that positive, and, you know, he's really a powerhouse. So I learn a lot from Raymond, and, you know, being on stage, you learn a lot.
Yeah.
The experiences, you learn a lot from, the more you do it, the more you get better at it.
Yeah, and I think, so going to Raymond performing live and stuff with the full band, right? Again, like I've said before, we've worked together for now 4 years. Almost, actually. But when we perform with you guys as dancers, and just for those who don't know, my dance team, NGP, the NGP dance team, we've been performing and also touring with Ray and his team.
Big up.
For the past 4 years. We've performed with them in Guyana. We've performed with them here in New York, in Canada for, you know, Caravana Weekend.
Caravana Weekend.
So the fact that when we're performing with them, especially when they have the live band, we don't really get a chance to hear what the audience hears, because on stage it sounds a little bit different. We don't hear the full music and how the effect is on stage, because the monitors and how things work are a little bit different. But when we do get that chance, like how we did for a wedding this past summer, I absolutely love it. It's my favorite thing. Experiencing a live band in general, not just Ray, even though Ray is amazing when they're performing. Ray and Dil-E-Nadan is amazing. But a live band in general just feels so different.
Yes, definitely. The energy. Like, there was a debate about that, you know, with, you know, but I think as a live band, nothing could beat that excitement you get from all the musicians and the aura and the energy. You know, that the full sound gives you
Exactly.
for a live band.
So going into touring now, right? You've been all over the world with Ray and the team.
Yeah, man. Give thanks.
What was your first touring experience like? So where did you go outside of Trinidad for the first time?
Right. So, I mean, before I've been to New York, well, honestly, just New York I would have visited before this whole band thing started. And, so my first tour with the band, my first foreign show was Miami Carnival 2021.
Wow, that's a big deal.
Yeah, Miami Carnival, yeah. And I mean, looking back at it now, Nick, is like, wow, me being like 20, I was probably like 21 at the time, 22. Like, in that position, touring with a, big band, and again,
especially for Miami Carnival.
Yeah, Miami Carnival, and you're seeing all these artists, and you're amongst it was a really amazing feeling.
Yeah.
The preparation, well, that was the first time going through a rehearsal with the band, preparing. Actually, before Miami Carnival, I did the 103 mailer online. It was that was during COVID, the online stream. Yeah, that's an next story by itself. But with the Miami Carnival, yeah, that was the first foreign show I did. Well, amazing experience, man. Like the preparation, the rehearsals, like for the first time going outside of Trinidad to perform was amazing feeling, and being around the team was, yeah, good vibes all the time.
So how does, I guess we can just go right into it in terms of touring and kind of being as young as you are.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people want to know, but you don't have to say it. Dating, single, married.
Yeah.
Which one is it?
Complicated. It can get complicated at times, but you know how it does go.
Okay, so let's just go right into it, okay?
Yeah.
So you're 26, you're young. I'm sure you're still, at that age where you're trying to have fun, whatever the case is. But being on tour, balancing, your law career plus being a full-time musician that is actively touring with a big band, how does your social life get affected? And I don't mean just by dating women or dating anyone in general, but also your family and friends, right? Do you feel like you need to take I guess, and I'm asking this in the sense of sometimes we don't realize it because it's a subconscious thing, right? When we're around our family and friends, it's just normal. It's like our day to day, right?
Yeah.
But when you are actively away from them, do you feel like when you're back in town, you have to make the extra effort to hang out with them or be with them? Or is it more like it's sort of normal, so you don't really have to think about it?
Yeah. I mean, in the beginning, when I was now getting into the band life, it would have been a little difficult with school, especially managing, going to university, law school, and trying to keep up with assignments and, music work. Because I was always tell people, being in a band is a full-time job. You need to always be working. Your mind always have to be working. You have to always be practicing, learning music. So it really does take a lot of your time. Yeah. And well, at that time I was in school, working. Now I would say I have people in my circle that understands the life, right? Dating could get a little challenging. I wouldn't say all the time, but once you have somebody or you're dating somebody who understands your time and understands that my time is limited and I have a lot of work going on, I have a lot of shows to perform at, rehearsals, and at the end of the day, it's about communication. Once you communicate that to them and once they understand, everything will be running smoothly. Yeah. And communication is key for me. Letting them know, well, I'll be busy. It could be family, friends, women. Just let them know, hey, I just will be busy today. I'll catch up with you tomorrow, or we could go and hang out soon. But with Dil-E-Nadan schedule, it really is demanding. Like we always working on, but I've found that time management aspect where I try to balance everything. I try to make time for what's important to me, whether that be family, friends, dating. So my social life wasn't really affected that much because people knew that I, well, joined the band and they see how much work we have and they know I'm in school, etc. So when like my friends, sometimes they want to have limes and they want to go and hang out here. And sometimes, well, most times I can't make because it's either on tour, have a rehearsal, have a show, or something with work or school. So they understand over the years. I mean, in the beginning, it was hard for everybody, family, friends, to understand, well, that a lot of family events that I couldn't attend.
Yeah.
You know, birthday parties, weddings, and people always asking, where Jerome going, boy? And parents are like, yeah, boy, he on tour in New York, in Canada. So they started to understand, and now it got a little, everybody understands a little more because they see how demanding my schedule is. And yeah, they understand. Sometimes it could get a little tricky and a little difficult. But as I say, God gave us this talent and I just go in full 100 with it. And my purpose, you know, you're putting your purpose first, but you don't ever want to forget your family, your friends, your loved ones, because they are the ones who have that support for you, especially my parents. Well, I'm the only child. So I always give back to my parents and like, even while I'm busy on tour, etc., I would call them, FaceTime, ask how they going, how check up on home, you know. Yeah, that's the most you could do, communication. And thankfully, we live in a social media age where you could talk and call from FaceTime or WhatsApp call. So yeah, things it works out. Yeah.
So I do agree with you when you say communication and time management for your loved ones, right? Now, taking it, I'll give you my perspective on when it comes to dating, right? I'm a woman in a male-dominated industry, right? So I have different challenges than a man would, right? And that's not an opinion. I feel like that's a fact, right? We all have different struggles when it comes to the people that we're with, the people that we're dating, how things work out, right? So because I'm in a very male-dominated industry and that's where my work is predominantly, right? I feel like for me, one of the struggles is bringing a man into the world because they're seeing a lot of men around me, right? I've noticed that when I am in that space where I want to bring someone into this life, I feel like I have to take extra care of how my communication is, right? And I say just because I'm saying, hey, I'm going to be busy right now, sometimes that's not enough.
You're right.
Sometimes I have to say, I'm going to be busy. I'm doing this. Yeah. This is how much time it's going to take. These are the people that are going to be around me. And not because I feel like I have to answer to somebody, but I feel like if you're bringing someone who's not a part of this world into this life, you have to make them feel comfortable. Yeah. So being a man in the industry, I'm sure, I mean, you are young, you're good looking. I'm sure there's a million women around you. Do you feel like you have to take that extra care because of the fact that, you know, you live the typical musician life?
Yeah. So if I'm being honest, if you're not in the space, it's hard for you to understand how the lifestyle is.
Yeah.
You know?
Completely agree.
So I do have that difficulty sometimes explaining like, okay, like sometimes, like, if I be honest, my communication in terms of texting isn't as good as you would want to seem. I'm a bad texter in terms of like reply times. So sometimes you might message me and I might reply the next day or the next 2 days or something. Yeah. Because sometimes I have so much going on. I was like, I have no time. And you know, you need a little space too. And being an only child, I love my space. Yeah. Like I'm accustomed being in my own zone and doing my own thing on my own beat. So it could get difficult at times when you have somebody in your life and you're always busy. And then again, too, as a woman, I always say that giving them that attention is important. You know, that communication, that being there for them. So sometimes that could get hindered in a sense. So I had difficulties or have difficulties sometimes with that. But I feel like once you get somebody or you have somebody who understands, and I mean, the little insecurities will pop up because, being in the industry, people typically see, you're getting fans and people looking at you, and, so it could bring some kind of jealousy, so to speak. But as I say, communication, if you really like that person or you're really for that person, you let them know, hey, don't worry about that. There is nothing between, be safe, we good. Don't let that affect you or affect us, things like that,
Yeah.
To give them that kind of assurance now, which is important. But as I said, it could get difficult at times because a lot of people, Nick, they wouldn't understand the life as well. Because I always tell people, these are work for me now. It's not no big rock star, superstar thing. When it comes to my work, I am very serious about it as a drummer.
Yeah.
So I hold that high for myself. I always make sure that I learn my music well, prepare the music, learn all the songs, show up to rehearsals on time, show up to song check on time, be there. Like, being in a band is like being in the military. You have a lot of deadlines, you have to be on time. And so for me, the average person when I mean average person, the person who isn't in the entertainment industry would look at what we do and feel like it's all fun and games. They live a nice rock star, they're traveling, they want to play in this. Some of my friends, boy, you always want to play, boy. It's like, but they don't see the behind the scenes of what it takes and what we do. The long hours of preparations, preparing for shows, rehearsal, your own practice time. It is a job at the end of the day. So it's not what people make it out to be. So it requires a lot of time and effort and energy. And sometimes, like, women who have dated or dating, it might be a little hard for them to understand that. Like,
Yeah, I also feel like you have to have the willingness to understand that, right? Like, you may not get it in the beginning, but you have to also want to get it at some point.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
So do you feel like you're in that space where you want to compromise a little bit? Because there is a give and take in every relationship, right? So do you feel like, and I say that in the sense of, it took me a very long time to say that or understand that I have to compromise when it comes to this life, when I'm bringing in someone into this life, right? And I say that because for a very long time, I was kind of like, you got to come in and get it. You can't just, if you're going to ask me to give things up, it's not going to work. If you say to me, I don't like that you're traveling with these people, I don't like this, I don't like that, I'm going to say this is not for me, right? But I'll give you one personal story, right? When I traveled to London for a show. And a friend of ours was with us. And I remember the girls were performing. I was on stage making sure that everything was good, giving them their cues. And at the end of the night, my friend, she came up to me and she showed me a picture. And she said, I know that you're in this phase where it's your way or the highway. Because this life can be very hard. Especially in the entertainment industry. And you may not be doing something wrong. But I want you to see what a guy is going to see. And it was literally 7 men on stage and 1 me with my dancers on the side, right? And it made me see a different perspective that I can say to somebody, you just have to understand it. But that is what told me, no, I have to take the extra mile to make them feel comfortable. Because they can look at pictures, they can look at videos, and they can see that I'm with all these other guys. And it can be very deceiving, right? So do you feel like you understand that space of compromise? Or are you still in that space where I'm going to do what I have to do and then maybe bring someone in later?
So, as I say, this is a gift. This music, it is a gift from God, and is like a purpose. So I will always say nothing could come between that what I work so hard for, like my purpose and my passion and being in the space I am now, and the hard work that I've put in through the years. You know, if somebody comes and tell me, oh, you can't do that or you can't do this, no. Like this is what I built. I worked so hard for. So there will be some level of compromise where once it's not taken away from my purpose and my passion and we communicate that, no problem. Compromise is a normal thing in a relationship or any situation. You have to make some kind of compromises, but it depends on what compromise you're making, right? If it's something to take away from this or take away from your musical talent or that journey or that vision you have, then it wouldn't be possible, you know, because at the end of the day, you have to have like even if I have a partner who is doing something that she loves, I cannot come and tell you, oh, you can't do this or and you see the nature of the music life is a lot of traveling but that's just part of the job at the end of the day. It's not to say, well, you want to disrespect your partner by doing this or why you taking pictures with these gears. It's just an element of the journey and part of the music lifestyle. And sometimes you just have to explain it to them a little further, as you said, which is normal because, as I said, not everybody would understand the lifestyle.
Yeah, you know? I also think that there are some people that ruin it for other people. I think we can just say that. And that's just not with our industry also, right? That's every industry. Correct, there's people that ruin it for other people.
They might look like the outside perspective might look at it and see like, yeah, think the worst. Like, wait, look at what they're doing. And, you know, it's not that because, as I said, it's just part of the nature of the job.
Exactly.
You know, you can't really come between that and fight it on, you know?
Have you had instances where you've been on tour and you might be dating somebody and they've just completely ruined your mood to perform? Or do you not let that interfere?
Honestly, never happened before where to that extent. It may have happened like before, but not like right before a show because right before a show, I just try to like shut off. Like I don't really try to talk to much people. I mean, I'll message home and find out how they're going and saying. But like other than that, I really just focus on the job and getting it done. Yeah. That I try, like I've mentally trained myself to just shut off. Like nothing could affect that pre-performance mode that I have, you know?
Yeah.
So I just try to make sure that Nick, that's a good question. Point I should bring up here. You know, we are human beings as well as musicians, and you will always have emotional highs and lows, right? Whether it be something in work with your family, you might be feeling sick, you might be feeling down, low energy, but no matter what, you have to go on that stage and give your all in it. Yeah. So you see how you bring up that it really reminded me of an overall factor that as artists, as entertainers, nobody coming to see you. Nobody cares if you're sick or if your girl break up with you or you know what I mean, or your boyfriend. You know, they want to hear that. They want them come to enjoy themselves and party and have a good time, and they depending on you to feed off that energy to them.
Yeah.
So nobody really cares if what's going on in your life. Like if I had an argument with my girl before the show, what do you want to hear that? They want to come and hear good music. So regardless of what, you gotta go and give your all on that stage.
It's the aspect of being a professional at the end of the day.
Correct.
And I think, you know, being as young as you are, I mean, you are in your 20s and going into your late 20s. Well, you're in your mid 20s. Yeah. But I think what I really, and that's why I wanted to bring you on the podcast, is what I really like about you is that you do have that sense of having that old soul thinking. You also, as young as you are, understand the aspect of, like, you're more mature, right?
Thank you.
And I say that because the things that you're saying to me a lot of people in their 20s wouldn't recognize that, right? That's more of and this is just my humble opinion, but that's more of a millennial thinking, right? You're technically a Gen Z, right? Gen Zs have a different way of thinking. And I think that your surroundings are a big factor, right?
Definitely.
You do have amazing mentors. Your parents clearly raised you amazingly.
Thank you. Shout out to my parents, man.
But then also having the different ages within the band, right?
Yes, definitely. That's a big factor.
Like Ray is an older gentleman, Richard is an older gentleman, Puka is an older gentleman, right? But then you have people like Buck. You have people like Akshay, Stein. You guys are all very, very similar in age, I believe.
Yeah, well, yeah. They're
in their
like
30s, maybe.
30s,
Early 30s. And I think that has a huge factor in who you are as a person, right? Because you also see that, right?
You're actually right.
I think Ray, Richard, they've been very lucky. Even Buck, I think he's married as well. They've been very lucky to have partners who've been able to take care of home while they're away.
Yes.
So you've seen that dynamic.
Yes, definitely. And I know how they work.
Yeah.
And to ensure that, everything. And yes, and going back to that whole relationship factor, I see how Ray and Richard's family, they're so close together, even though they are in the lifestyle, so that's what makes me realize that yes, there are things that even if you're in the lifestyle, you can have healthy, successful relationships, marriages, because being around them, and I see how close they are with their families. And one thing with Dil-E-Nadan, that's what I always, since I joined the band, I always admire how family oriented they are.
Yeah.
They are very, ensure that they treat us like family, even though, I now came in the band, I felt a sense of home already, being around the energy, and, they're always praying people, they always high energy, always inspiring others, inspiring us. So it really, the surroundings is a big factor, I would say. And my parents, thankfully, they raised me really well. Always stayed out of trouble, just always on positive vibes now. I was no kind of negative vibes, and I say always I'm my only child, so I always stay to myself. And my friends in school too, always good company. Big up my brethren and them who always supported me. But yes, the surroundings, the different age groups that I've been associated with, I learned from every aspect.
And I think, the good thing is that, so when you're in this lifestyle, when you're a musician, when you're in the entertainment industry in general, right? Whether you're a musician, a singer, dancers, production people, right? Sometimes the lifestyle can make you feel like it's not possible, right? Sometimes you can have that aspect of, well, I'm turning a specific age and I may not have found somebody I'm 31, right? And I'm not married yet. But I also understand that there is no age, to when you want to find your partner. But seeing people like Ray, seeing people like Richard, seeing people in the band that have had healthy relationships with their marriages, with their families, with their kids. I mean, Ray and Richard's kids are grown up now and amazing.
My boys and them, man, very Varun, Vinesh, Amish Arvin, those are
amazing
exceptional
kids.
Boys, but they're like my little brothers,
So it makes you see that aspect when you have that around, when you have that in your life. It really does make you say, well, this is possible.
It is.
So when you find people in your life who do come in and don't understand it, it makes it hard to then go forward with that relationship, because you say to yourself, well, other people have partners that are very understanding. If you're not understanding for me, then I don't want it, basically. Right? But I also feel like, and the point that I want to bring up is, I feel like this lifestyle can also make it feel very transactional, and it can make it feel very, almost like you're quick to say no. Right?
Yeah.
Like sometimes if we weren't in this lifestyle, maybe we would give our time more to somebody who's giving us a little bit of the issue, whereas now it's kind of like, no, we're not dealing with it.
I think it's just the times we live in, the generations, and things evolving. With social media, seeing different things, so everybody's way of thinking will kind of change and shift from how it was back then. But I feel as though once you have somebody that understands what you do and understand that you're so passionate about it, and you're working hard at something that you were given a gift to by God, and if they see that purpose you going towards and you're working towards, then it shouldn't have any issues in terms of supporting. Like I always say, support for me is a big thing that way.
Yeah.
Like once you have somebody who's supporting you throughout the journey and actually want to see you prosper, that and vice versa. Like in any partnership, for me, I always want to see my significant other or my partner strive to do better every day, and they should want the same for me.
Yeah.
So when you're in that mission, so it's like two of you guys going on a mission together now. You doing what you want to do, I doing what I have to do, and we both working towards greatness. Then that bond and the relationship will actually get better through that support, because you have somebody where you're back. Like if I having a bad day, or tired after a show, you still have somebody there we could talk to. You find comfort in them, because with all these stresses and traveling and thing, once you have somebody who there for you and willing to support you and understand the life, you're good to go, man.
Yeah, I think I just want to I'm going to say this to the camera.
Yeah.
The energy that I'm feeling here with Jerome is amazing. First of all, I think I love, I love talking to you. Okay, you're amazing.
We just win it all the time.
All the time.
Ever since.
But I do want to say, your energy in general is so fresh. It's so chill. It's so nice. The aura, just in general, we've been friends for 2 or 3 years now, and we've always been great.
All the time.
We've always had great camaraderie. But in general, I think just summing up exactly what you said. Time management, communications, but then your surroundings, right? We as human beings choose who we want around us.
Yeah.
And that really does affect us as people,
You're
right?
absolutely right.
So the fact that you're, in your mid-20s, you're growing up, you're learning, you have so many mentors around in your life, but they're great people. And I say that because your energy is so light, but you're also so mature. Right?
I appreciate that, man.
A lot of people have to go through trauma in life and damaging circumstances that make them stronger human beings,
correct,
right?
correct.
Or make them more mature.
Correct.
But the fact that you're as young as you are and still have that level of maturity and that understanding, but can still have that light feeling to you, I think is amazing.
Yeah, thanks for that, man. I really appreciate that. And likewise, ever since we knew each other, the energy was always on point now, boy.
It's amazing.
Always good energy. Never had no kind of bad vibes or no bad blood or no bad energy. And we always had a great relationship since, I know, 2021.
Yeah.
As in, when we was in Queens, one of the shows we did, I think that was the first time I met you.
So I think we need to talk about this. We need to add this in. Right?
Funny story.
So you saw me in 2021.
Right.
But I didn't notice you until 2023.
Right. True, because I feel like it was always a hustle, but so when I was backstage, we had to go on stage and then we probably made eye contact a few times, but never really get to talk.
Yeah, so 2021.
I think we would have acknowledged each other hey, what's up? A little nod or something, or a little smile or something, but never really.
I think it's because 2021 is when we started working with Dil-E-Nadan and Raymond them, right? I think 2021 was our first show. At that time, Ray was calling his TMB shows, his Team Music Boss shows, Everybody Loves Raymond. So that was, I think, the last ELR show in New York for Mother's Day that we did.
Yeah, right.
Right? And then I think there was some time before there was another band show. And then in 2022, I founded Nikita Productions. And 2023, I believe July, 6 months later, 7 months later, was when you did the show in New Jersey.
New Jersey, right. Yeah, I remember that.
And that was the first time I seen you.
Yes.
And I remember exactly.
Yeah, correct.
And I think it's not that I didn't notice you before, but I think that was, we reached a point with the band where we had a great
comfort, that rapport,
and that rapport with everybody, where it was we said hi to everybody, we saw you,
true.
And at that point, it was it was just go with you guys,
correct,
right?
correct.
Our relationship, as our working relationship, all just hit the ground running by then, and we were so engrossed in it all. I think 2023 and 2024 were like our strongest years of working together.
Correct. Yes.
And we built our relationship since then.
And you guys, big up your dance team one time. Amazing. Guys, Nikita Gairam Productions. All the way, get at her for your dance shows, etc. Amazing group of girls, man. And they really bring that energy on stage when we perform as well. So shout out to you, man. And your team.
I wanted to just, wrap up and just say thank you so much for being here. Again, I said this in the beginning. You saying yes to this is a big deal for me.
Oh, that is no problem.
It's a testament to my working relationships with everybody, and I really appreciate it. I also am so happy that I can bring light to you as a musician because, when you're on stage and you're performing, you don't get to speak.
Yeah,
right?
True.
And I think that this was great because... And I'm, this is me being biased because I love Jerome, but he's such a cutie. He's great looking. He's young.
Oh, God.
Guys, I'm going to put his Instagram information in the bio.
Yeah, man. Big up yourself. Yeah.
Hit him up. Don't know if he's single. We haven't really spoken about this. I don't think we need to bring it up on the show. But you can reach out to him,
Reach out to him, man. No, feel free.
Exactly. Yeah. So thank you so much for being here.
I just want to say thank you so much, Nick, for having me. It was a pleasure being here and chatting with you, as usual.
Yes.
But in this setting, it was amazing. And I really appreciate you taking your time. We had a long flight last night and, lack of sleep, but we made it happen. And you have
a show tonight.
Yeah, I have a show tonight too, but we made it happen, and thanks for everything. I fully support this venture you're doing. Mic check with Nikita, this is just the start, guys. Many more to come. Great things gonna happen, right? So stay tuned for the episode. Stay tuned for more from Nikita. And thank you so much again.
Thank you. And just a quick shout out, Raymond Ramrine and Dil-E-Nadan.
Of course, bro. Must big on my brothers. Thank you so much, guys. I mean, shout out to the whole team. I love you guys, man. My mom, dad, everybody, God. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, man. Respect. You don't know.